Everybody, it's Annette from The Art of Intuition, and today we are talking about how to discern what's highest aligned. Now, I have a noisy washing machine. I hope that won't be too disruptive, and I hope it's not picking up that much of that on this audio. So hopefully it is not. So we talked a lot on videos about always asking for highest aligned. What's highest aligned? I want to know what's highest aligned. That's always what we're going to go for. So I would always ask, I want the highest aligned outcome, right? I want the highest aligned act I can do, whether I'm shifting a reality, closing it out. Sometimes closing it out is the highest aligned thing we're supposed to do. Sometimes trying to shift it is. And if we're trying to shift it, how are we trying to shift it? So what is the highest aligned thing? And I know I have done this before where I would just say, oh, I can't see it. I can't see highest aligned thing. A couple things are occurring there for me. One, I see it and I don't like it, so I just say I don't see it because I don't want to do what I see I have to do. So I'll say, okay, I don't see anything. Blinders, I don't see that. I don't see what I need to do. And other times I really can't see it because I've got too many variables in the way, right? I've got too many things in the way for me to actually see it. So that's something that we have to start pulling apart. So if you're in the first camp where you see it, but you keep saying you don't see it because you don't actually like the answer you're getting, or you're in the camp where you really can't see it and you keep waffling back and forth and you're not even getting an external verification on which one is better, because you're not energetically in the frequency to even see that. Every sign we want is there in a sense. We're just not in the frequency to see it yet, right? We can't see it. It's always there, but we just can't see it. Kind of like kids will see things we don't see a lot of times because they see different frequencies. Their frequency's high enough to see through the veils of different things. Sometimes we can't see that because we've got so many things mucked up in trying to figure out what's highest aligned that we can't see it. So if we're thinking about, okay, what's highest aligned? And we ask that question, I want the highest aligned thing, because that's always what we're going for, the highest aligned thing. It's going to be the highest aligned thing for everyone in your reality, even though when you do whatever it is, it might not feel highest aligned for the other people, okay? But we can't really judge what we did based on how someone else reacted to it. So keep that in mind too. So, and the cat always wants to sit in my lap. We're shooting, and I'm shooting in the day. Okay, so what are we going to do? First, we're going to start peeling apart what's in this decision for us. So is our current reality making us happy, right? First thing we want to ask. If it's not making us happy, if the money's not coming to support it, then we have to look at that. Okay, what's going on here? So this is not making me happy. The money's not coming to support it anymore. There's something going on here. Okay, so that's the first thing we want to peel apart. And I'll always tell people, okay, now if there's money attached to this reality, say if you're going to cancel a lease, you're going to have to pay out to cancel. You're going to have to maybe pay somebody to cancel that. Maybe not. That might depend on how highest aligned we can go. Sometimes those things work out and we don't have to. But let's say you're concerned about that. If I cancel a lease, I'm going to have to pay this much money and I don't want to do that. So maybe I cancel it early. Maybe I don't cancel it. If you want to quit a job, and that might feel highest line, but I got all this money stuff going on with it. So take the money out of the equation, right? So right now we're looking at the basis. Does it make me happy? Is money coming to support it? Because that is a big one. If money's not coming to support it, your universe usually gets our attention from money. It gets our attention with the money to say, okay, it's not supported anymore. What do I have to shift and change? What's going on here? Why this is no longer supported. Okay, so money's out. If it's not, we've already had our flags, not making me happy. It might not be being supported, whatever it is that would support it for you, whether it's money or other people. Red flags, we got to do something. And now let's just remove all the money issues related to this decisions. We're not going to worry about how we're going to pay for anything. We're not going to worry about penalties for leaving things. We're not going to worry about any of that stuff. That all goes down. And those are usually what I would do. And then I was listening on a consciousness call that I'm on, and I was listening to the speaker who speaks on this, and I follow Lisa Transcendence Brown quite a bit. So I want to kind of give her a shout out for this, because this is not something I was doing, even though I thought I was doing it. Until she mentioned it, I don't know if I was doing it. So I want to include this one. take the people out. Take all the people out in this reality with you and pretend it's just you. There's nobody else here. There's no partner here. There's no landlord here. There's no boss here. There's no coworkers here. There's nobody here but you. There's no mom. There's no dad. There's no family. It's just you in this reality. Now what is highest line for you to do? Take all those things out of it. Now what's highest line for you to do? Because you'll be surprised, especially with the people piece and even the money piece for me too. When I started stripping the people out of the reality and say, okay, what do I want to do? What feels highest line for me now? If I take all that stuff out, I don't worry about how people are going to react. I don't worry about, how someone's is going to feel about it. If someone's feelings are going to get hurt, if I feel obligated to this person or that person, all that's gone. All that stuff's been removed. Now how do I feel about it? Now what's highest line for me to do? And I came to my answer a lot quicker than I thought when I removed every other variable from it. Don't worry about the details of any of the other stuff, and don't worry about the people. What is now highest aligned? And I think you're going to find you're going to get to it very quickly when you start pulling out all the pieces. What we'll get to at that point is then we'll see it pretty clearly, and we might still not like the answer because we might have to move people out. We might have to move from people. We might have to start shifting a lot of things, and our humans might not like that. I can pretty much guarantee you your human's not going to like that. Because if you're at the point where you're watching this video because you can't figure out what's highest aligned, it's because your human doesn't like what's highest aligned. But what I found was when I started stripping all that stuff away, all that extra stuff I was trying to line up with everybody, I was kind of got excited about what was highest aligned. Because I also started to see that what was highest line for me in this situation, because a lot of times in our realities, we're going to hold the highest consciousness. We're responsible for that. It would also be highest line for everybody else, even if they couldn't see that yet. It would be highest line for everybody, even if they might not feel it yet or understand it till they look back on it later, and then they would see it was highest line for everyone involved. Because when you're holding the highest and you go for the highest, even if there's things in there that are uncomfortable, it's going to be highest for everybody. So just start pulling it apart, taking out all the variables. Now look at it. And if you don't like what you have to do, sit with it for a little while. I've sat with some stuff for a little while because I couldn't get to it. But as soon as I stripped things away, I got to it quicker. And I could see where maybe I was trying to rush the decision. I was trying to rush it because I was worried about the money to come to cover this, or worried about the money to fund the new thing. All this stuff's got to go. If it's highest aligned, the money will be there. And if it's highest line for everybody, a lot of the stories we have about the people that won't be there, they might come back in later. You're going to start to really open up when you start stripping things away. So hopefully that will assist, and keep practicing the art of intuition.